So it's been over a month since my tank moved from the basement to a first floor room, and from intermediate cool tank it became a hot and humid tank. And during this month I was constantly shuffling my orchids, bringing some in, moving some out, and on this point I brought in some large vandas. This is Vanda tricolor and Vanda sanderiana, because I read that these species are hot to warm growers, so I thought they would appreciate a hot and humid tank environment. And two primary crosses. One is Limbata and Dirae, and the other is Limbata and Insignis. They are crosses of the warm, hot growing species too. And some of my little vandas are here now. They are hot growing too. I left Rachildiana and Tessellata on the window sill because they are cool to warm growing, so they should be okay during winter. But these vandas, they would like the tank. And I removed from here my large cattleyas because they started to develop brown splotches on the bulbs, so I thought it probably was too humid for them. They didn't like it, so I removed them. And I removed from here large Phragmipediums. I had Phragmipedium schlimmai and Phragmipedium disorm. So they're removed from here too because they showed some sign of distress, which I thought was from very warm conditions. They started to brown the leaf tips, and two leaves actually rotted. So I removed them. And I also removed Angraecums. Angraecums rotted two leaves too. So not everybody from my orchids likes actually the hot and humid environment of the tanks. Now the plants who definitely likes being in hot and humid tank, I think, is this Ristrepia. It continues and continues to bloom. It's been in bloom for many months now. There's always blooms on her. This Stellis Micrantha, Clown's Mini-Me. In a previous video I showed the close-up of these flowers, and I only had one spike back then. Now it threw like a bunch of spikes. I counted there are 9 of them. So soon they probably open together. I will have 9 spikes of such little green delicate flowers. If only they had fragrance, that would be even better. The other plants that like in a tank are Phalaenopsis. That's my Bellina. They're in the corner, and you see, there's a spike. She started to grow the spike, and I think that's because she liked warm and humid conditions here. And the other, my other Phalaenopsis orchids are growing well. The leaves are shiny, the roots are growing, and so they do enjoy being in a tank, in a warm tank. Now this neofinetias that I just recently purchased, they're okay, but out of 5, you only see 4 now, because the 5th one, the little Kurashinju, I almost killed. And I don't know if it's almost, or probably totally killed. That's her. And there is no roots. There are only little strings because all the vellum rotted. So I don't know how did it happen. It didn't have a lot of roots from the beginning. And whatever she had, I think the moss ball, like I potted her the same fashion like this, but I think moss ball probably was too fat, too thick for her to dry fast in the humid tank, and I didn't get used to the high humidity in this tank. It wasn't that humid before in the basement. So in like 10 days, I think, oh no, actually probably 20 days, in 3 weeks, I managed to rot all the roots on this little plant. I'm very mad about it, mad at myself, of course, and I'm very sad, and I don't know what's gonna happen to it. I just doing whatever I would do to a rootless phalaenopsis. I put it into a small pot with moss, put it away from the light, and keep the moss a little bit damp, not wet. We'll see if it'll grow some roots or it'll totally die. So that's a bad thing I did. But oh well, that's life. And what else? The Masdevallias are doing okay here. Masdevallia tavarensis that developed strange wet leaves syndrome, that's what I called it. She's okay in the basement, and the leaves actually cleared out. I have no idea what it was. And what I'm going to do, actually, I'm going to report her from the moss to small archaeata and bring it back to the tank and see what's going to happen. Because I'm thinking maybe now I can see that moss in this hot and humid condition is not the best medium for me. I like moss. I always used it in this tank when it was downstairs. But now I see that it does not dry as fast as it used to dry. So I need to rethink my potting for these orchids. And the last thing I wanted to show is my little strip of succulents. As decided, I continue to plant them in little boxes all through the front of the tank. I separated my tray into small boxes because then it's more modular, and when they grow larger it will be easy to just move them apart to give them more space in between. So I decided to keep them in those boxes separated. And then I think it'll look nice when all the front of the tank has them. So that was my September update on the tank. Oh, and I forgot to show. I mounted this tillandsia. I put it on the glue. I did some research and I found this E6000 glue that is non-toxic and is okay for air plants. I didn't do a really good job because some of the glue kind of leaked. Doesn't look nice there. But it'll come with experience. And of course I broke the flower, not flower, but I think it was, I don't know what was it, but some part of the flower at the top. It's gone. Hopefully it'll bloom again, like this one, the second one. I think it looks cute, mounted. So I guess that was it. That was all my update on my tank, which will soon become the Vanda forest. I am waiting for a big haul with Vandas. I'm not gonna tell you now what's gonna be in it, but stay tuned. Next month I'll get more Vandas. Thank you for watching and have a nice day.